Hi everyone, it's Miss Rachel. I'm going to talk to you today about coral reefs. Does anybody know where a coral reef is found? Anybody? Maybe raise your hand. That's right, it's found in the ocean. It's found in the very shallow waters of the ocean near the equator. Let me see if I have a picture here for you. Here we go. So here's a picture of the Earth. So we have the equator, which is this line right here. Do you see all these little orange dots all over the map? Those are the coral reefs that are all over the world. And they're mostly found near the equator, as I said, because that's where it is warmest on Earth. So coral reefs need sun and they need warm temperatures in order to survive. So coral reefs, if you can believe it, they're actually living beings. It's not just rocks underneath the water. So let me show you another picture. Like here is a scuba diver. Can you see him? Here's a scuba diver swimming through the coral reefs. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Have any of you ever scuba dived or gone snorkeling before? If you've been so lucky. I actually have never done either, and I would love to. But you can snorkel or scuba dive and be able to go down and look at the reefs, but don't touch them, just look. This is full of living creatures. There's all kinds of fish and other creatures out there, and the coral is actually made up of polyps. And over the years, they've just kind of stacked on top of each other, and it's grown and grown and grown. Some of those coral reefs are 5,000 to 10,000 years old. Like, whoa. That's mind-blowing to me. And the very first coral reefs that were ever formed was before the dinosaurs. So over 240 million years ago, the coral reefs started forming. So I have here, a coral reef is an ecosystem. That's a big word that I don't think I've ever taught you guys before. So an ecosystem is made up of all the living and non-living things in that particular area. So there's different types of ecosystems all over the world, but we're just talking about coral reefs in particular today. So, and this is a very important ecosystem because how many of you like to eat fish? There's all kinds of fish that live and thrive in those ecosystems. And let's see, what else? There's hundreds, if not even thousands of creatures that live in there. So we have like here, let's see. We have a lot of cool pictures here. Oh, so these are different creatures that live in the coral reef. You got this guy here and this guy. I mean, they look crazy, don't they? Do you think you can even draw something like this? Now here is a hard coral reef. So hard coral reef, it means it has an exoskeleton, so it's nice and hard. And there's other coral reefs that are soft and they don't have an exoskeleton. But the rocky coral reefs that you see that build up, they are made up of coral just like this. And that looks like sticks and rocks, doesn't it? But if you believe it or not, that's a creature. It's a living being. And there are little plants inside of it called algae. I don't know if you've ever seen algae before. Like if you have a pool, for example, if you ever see it turn green, those are little itty bitty plants. Algae is a plant. It just doesn't have stems or leaves. But anyways, the algae lives inside the coral, and it provides, and it uses the sunlight, and it generates food for the coral. And that's what gives it its color too, the algae. So there's all different colors of algae. Like if you can believe it, all these guys in here, they have algae inside them. So these beautiful pinks and purples and blues and peach colors, those are all made up of algae inside coral. So let's see. I had talked about the plants that look like rocks near the equator. I think I've covered a lot of my stuff about the coral reef. So I wanted to read you a book called Over in the Ocean. And it is Over in the Ocean in a Coral Reef. It is by Marianne Burks and illustrated by Jeanette Canyon. Jeanette Canyon. So if you pay attention in here, you're going to see all different kinds of creatures that live in a coral reef. I mean, we have a clue right here on the front cover. What do you see there? What's on that front cover? Seahorses, and you learned about seahorses last week with Miss Betsy. So, we have first page. Oh. This book, let me move my water bottle before I knock it over. This book All these illustrations are made from clay. Clay is kind of like Play-Doh, but it's a little harder. So somebody didn't draw these. They actually made them out of clay, and then they took pictures of them. So all right, let's get going. Over in the ocean, far away from the sun, lived a mother octopus and her octopus one. Squirt, said the mother. I squirt, said the one. So they squirted in the reef far away from the sun. Check that out. Octopuses are in a coral reef. Look beautiful that is. See all the tentacles? They're squirting the ink there to get away from danger. Over in the ocean where the seagrasses grew lived a mother parrotfish and her parrotfish too. Grind, said the mother. We grind, said the two. So they ground on the coral where the seagrasses grew. Here's the mother parrotfish. Another type of fish that's found in the coral reef. And there's one of her babies. Over in the ocean, in the sea anemone, lived an old mother clownfish and her little clownfish three. Dart, said the mother. We dart, said the three. So they darted all around in a sea anemone. How many of you have seen Finding Nemo? Right there, these are clownfish. And this is a sea anemone, and it's in a coral reef. And these guys live in a sea anemone. Isn't that beautiful? Over in the ocean on a sandy sea floor lived an old mother stingray and her little stingrays four. Stir, said the mother. We stir, said the four. So they stirred with their fins on the sandy sea floor. Stingrays kind of hide and glide along the ocean floor in a coral reef. Over in the ocean where the scuba divers dive lived an old mother puffer and her pufferfish five. Puff, said her mother. We puff, said the five. So they puffed in and out where the scuba divers dive. Look at those pufferfish. Look at how puffed up he is. Right there. Over in the ocean doing somersault tricks lived an old mother dolphin and her little dolphin six. Jump, said the mother. We jump, said the six. So they jumped and they played doing somersault tricks. You see the dolphins? They swim near coral reefs. And why do they swim near coral reefs? Because that's where their food is. Isn't that beautiful? Over in the ocean in their sea fan heaven lived a mother angelfish and her little angels seven. We graze, said the mother. We graze, said the seven. So they lazed and they grazed in their sea fan heaven. Look at this. This is a sea fan right here, which grows in the coral reef. And here are the fish. Over in the ocean, very streamlined and straight, lived a mother needlefish and her needlefish eight. We skitter, said the mother. We skitter, said the eight. So we skittered through the water, very streamlined and straight. Look at how different all of these fish are in this book. These guys are long, skinny fish. And other ones, been puffed up. And other ones are big. They're all different. Over in the ocean, drifting in a yellow line, lived an old mother gruntfish and her little grunts nine. Grunt, said her mother. We grunt, said the nine. So they grunted and they kissed, drifting in a yellow line. There's the mother gruntfish and all of her babies. And you see the coral here and all the different colors of the coral. Who remembers what's inside coral, making it these colors? That's right, algae. Over in the ocean in their turtle grass den lived an old father seahorse and his seahorse 10. Flutter, said the father. We fluttered, said the 10. So they fluttered all around in their turtle grass den. Who remembers that the daddy seahorse takes care of the babies? You see all those babies? Over in the ocean where the sea creatures play, while their parents all were resting, they up and swam away. Oh no! Find us, said the children, from 10 to 1. When you find all the creatures, this rhyme is done. Oh my goodness. Look at all those creatures. It might take me a little while to find everybody, but that is beautiful. But yes, coral reefs are full of colors like that. So I hope you've learned something about coral reefs, and maybe it'll encourage you to do a little exploration on your own and check it out. All right, I'll see you all later. Bye.